You're listening to the Dare to Love podcast with your hosts, Sonica Tinker and Christian Peterson, founders of LoveWorks.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. We're glad to be with you today. Today, both of us are here, Sonica and Christian. We're looking forward to talking to you today.
Do you hate feeling judged in your relationship? Do you ever feel like you just can't do it right for the people you love?
Or perhaps you're the one sometimes passing judgments on your partner or the people in your relationships. Maybe they tell you that you're the judgmental person.
The judgments we have of one another, it comes out of our mouths as complaints, criticisms, accusations, blame.
I know we say stuff like, oh my God, you're so stubborn. Why do you always have to be micromanaging me? You're totally self-absorbed. Or why do you have to be so judgmental? Why do you have to be so ... fill in the blank.
When we talk to each other like that, we infuse our communication with irritation, anger, hurt. And not only do we not get what we want in terms of listening, understanding, and harmony, it also sours the mood in the house.
Yeah, just plain feels bad. And, there's no denying that as humans, we make up judgments. And on the one hand, that's a good thing, right? We use our sound and positive judgments to navigate the world, to determine what activities are safe, what we should avoid, and to make judgments about what we value and what we don't. So, try as we might to be non-judgmental, even though that's a valid attempt, these brains of ours are judgment machines. All right, let's put that back up. So you can just start with what came after.
All right, ready? We tend to characterize our judgments as either being negative or positive, right? As Christian was just saying, some of our judgments are really useful and help us make decisions. And these other judgments we tend to characterize as negative and bad and like they shouldn't be. And in our work, we're very much about how do we use everything to our advantage? How can we use negative judgments to shine a light on and bring out the best of ourselves as well as bringing out the best in each other?
So we want to share one of our favorite ways to use judgments. So in order for us to do that, we'd like you to undertake a quick experiment here. So think of a judgment you have about your partner or someone else. Yes, and we're giving you permission to think of a negative judgment. You don't have to be enlightened about it. Just someone you have a judgment about, somebody who irritates you or just gets on your nerves. So what is a judgment you have about your partner or someone else?
And once you get in touch with that judgment, ask yourself this question: how am I just like that?
And just sit with that for a moment or two. How am I just like that?
The judgments we make about other people are often a reflection of shadowed aspects of ourselves that we don't see or honor.
For example, I have often judged other people, whether partners or friends or co-workers or politicians I see on TV, you name it, for being judgmental and narrow-minded. How am I just like that? Well, for one, in the same moment I judge someone else for being judgmental, I'm obviously doing the very same thing. But I'm judgmental in so many other ways. Like I make up judgments about people who aren't willing to work hard, or people who go to the store and buy 10 times more toilet paper than they need, which is happening right now, so there's nothing left for the other customers. And, at home, I judge Sonica for being too fussy about the cat or for not treating my sharp chef's knives properly. The list goes on and on.
When I ask myself, how am I just like that? I get to connect to the human side of myself as well as you. I even the playing field. I stop making myself superior to you or better than you.
Yeah, because that is what's happening when I judge you. I'm effectively saying I'm better than you. When I judge you for being, say, stubborn, I'm implying that I'm not stubborn. When I judge you for being selfish, I'm implying that I'm not selfish. I'm basically declaring I'm better than you. And most of the time, that's just pure rubbish. We both make up judgments about ourselves and each other. We both get irritated when we see behaviors we don't like. And at times, we both think we're superior to the other person because we're not doing that irritating thing.
What's great about also looking at where we're similar is it then puts us on the same page. So instead of it being me against you, it's you and me together are doing this thing. And maybe both of us would really like to not do this thing. Most of us are blind to how we're just like those that we judge. Just yesterday I was coaching a man who was having a hard time being direct with his client who is always changing appointments on him at the last minute. And he was telling me that he judges her for not being strong enough and direct enough with her employees, not being able to draw lines and boundaries when her people are requesting that she cancel these appointments to accommodate their needs. He was scared to tell her that he was not liking that how she was moving. He was scared to draw a line and a boundary with her about these changing appointments. And in the moment that he was sharing it, he couldn't see how he was just like her.
Yeah, no, and getting to work in relationships, we see this play out all the time. We worked with a couple last week who are on the brink of divorce, and she's really pissed off at how angry her husband is. You see that? Yeah, like she's angry that he's angry. They're basically both in the same boat.
A woman who came to see us was emotionally shut down and not wanting to be close to her husband because he wasn't open to intimacy and connection.
Yeah, another man quit talking to his partner because she isn't available to physically connect with him as often as he wants. So he's shutting himself off. And, each of these people are a perfect match. Their behavior is a perfect match to the behavior they're judging in their partners.
So our judgments are a great way for us to see ourselves and to see, when we slow things down and explore how we're just like the people we're judging in these specific ways, we get to open ourselves to bringing up to consciousness these shadowed aspects of ourselves we wouldn't be able to see otherwise. Also, when I see how I'm just like you, it helps me step into my humanity, drop my arrogance, step into humility, and find compassion for both of us.
Yeah, not only that, actually, but, the exploring, how am I just like that? It's just a great equalizer. It says, I'm just like you, at least in some ways, at least sometimes. And from that place, we can connect as equals, as opposed to I'm better than you or you're better than me, which is it's a terrible way to conduct. It's a terrible place from which to conduct a powerful relationship. And when we can meet as equals, then if we still want to talk about changing our behaviors, our interactions, or our patterns, which is totally fair, then we can do it from a place of equality and with compassion and with humility.
So we encourage you to try this out. Every time you notice yourself judging somebody else, just slow it down and ask yourself, how am I just like that? You'll notice that it softens the sharp edge that you're bringing when you judge and will drop you more down into this place of humility and compassion and create an opening for a new possibility in your relationship.
Yeah, you might even have a little fun with noticing what gets, what you see in that exploration. How am I just like that?
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for listening. We'll look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Take care, everyone.
You've been listening to the Dare to Love podcast with your host, Sonika Tinker and Christian Peterson, founders of LoveWorks. If you found this valuable, please hit the share button and share with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or your other favorite hangouts. You can find more about Sonika and Christian's work at loveworksforyou.com.